They're off. Festival Day 4 underway with the Group 3 Sky Bet Strensall Stakes over a mile and a furlong. Just taking a while to sort themselves out into racing formation. Boiling Point with the white cap is going enthusiastically down at the running rail. Handy, and so too Bullet Point in the pale pink silks. Just taking a while to cross over and just holding out Gladius, the claret silks, in about fourth position, wide of Skakuza in the light blue. Another who's inclined to take a bit of a grip as they go through the first quarter mile and is reined back now behind King of Cities, the spotted cap who goes handy, moving up into the leading trio. Beaumark in a striped jacket also sliding past Skakuza, who's now only got two behind. Check and Challenge in the cheap piece is one of them, and King's Gambit ridden with patience by Danny Tuthope at the back of the field. So approaching halfway in the Sky Bet Strensall, they're about to turn on in, and Boiling Point and Clifford Lee, white cap, bring them into the straight and a little off the inside running rail. To Bullet Point, who's sitting a handy second alongside King of Cities, the spotted cap. Beaumark in a striped jacket under William Buick is disputing fourth with a nose-banded Gladius. King's Gambit out wide, red cap on the move. Check and Challenge in the cheap piece is coming with him. More in behind on Skakuza, the light blue, is looking for a way through. Moving on down towards the last quarter mile. One from the right, King of Cities, is moving up to challenge owner mate Boiling Point. Still bang there, Bullet Point to the pink. Gladius in the noseband. Skakuza has found daylight. Pale blue beginning to run on. Entering the last furlong, King of Cities, Gladius, Boiling Point, Skakuza. Nothing more from Bullet Point. King of Cities being pressed again by a rallying owner mate. And it's going to be heads up, heads down. King of Cities over Boiling Point in the Strensall. Good race for Sheikh Mohammed Obeid Al Maktoum.
He looked like he's going to go and win quite well, and then he's gone that way. But he's got loads and loads of ability, and speak to Sheikh Mohammed Obeid and see what he thinks, but hopefully he stays in training next year and it could be a big year for him.
They're off for the Sky Bet Melrose. Novelista Raw Blue Jacket from stall 1 bustled up to try and get a position early. Also Fantasy World from stall 2, the white cap, who now begins to cross to the rail, getting in front of Novelista as they move through the first furlong. And among the early pace setters, Cape Breton with the green cap, and Sea of Kings, the red cap, the Wathnun Racing Silks, right up in the leading line, with Fantasy World down at the running rail. Talisman's Time in an orange jacket is tracking the leaders, with the white-faced pair on either side of the track at the moment. Novelista close to the rail, and Daiquiri Bay out wide in the beige and green. Many Men has settled towards midfield. You might just see the pink and black on the cap of Oisin Murphy, who's racing upsize Tariance with the pink cap. Golden Handshake, the scarlet sleeves just in front of that pair. Another to have a midfield position at the road crossing. Further back to Polestar, silver jacket with the blue cap, who races ahead of Love Talk, white jacket last but one. And Bosun, Will Buick, the all-silver silks at the back of the field as they head towards the end of 3/4 of a mile in the Sky Bet Melrose. And it's Cape Breton and Richard Kingscote leading the field to Daiquiri Bay, who's just about shading second at this stage, but is sitting right on the tail of the leader. And then towards the inside, Sea of Kings, red cap, a handy third. Fantasy World racing on the near side of Talisman's Time. Golden Handshake out wide is the shadow to the white-faced Novelista. And then Tariance, the pink cap, ahead of Many Men. Further back to Polestar, Love Talk, and still at the back of the field, Bosun. There'd be 10 lengths covering them. They've gone through halfway, and they're about to begin the swing for home. Cape Breton leading up to Daiquiri Bay. Sea of Kings on the inner, just a half length down. Talisman's Time disputing fourth. Fantasy World, the white cap on his inner. Then Golden Handshake sitting in midfield, 4 lengths off the pace ahead of Novelista. To the nose-banded Tariance, and then further back in the field to Many Men. The checks on the jacket of red and pink as they turn on in. Further back, Polestar, Love Talk and Bosun. Heading for the last half mile then. Cape Breton, green cap brings them in. White-faced Daiquiri Bay moving up to challenge. Sea of Kings on the right, Fantasy World in behind her with Novelista in the royal blue, then Talisman's Time, Tariance in the noseband now beginning to cut through the field. Many Men is being asked to improve, Murphy crouching low, Golden Handshake, Scarlet Sleeves has got work to do, away to the left, Polestar running on from the rear, just outside the last quarter mile, Daiquiri Bay puts his white face upside Sea of Kings, here comes the nose-banded Tariance, Many Men on the right joining under the Murphy drive, Fore across the track as they race for the last furlong in the Sky Bet Melrose. Tariance and Many Men now moving on together from Daiquiri Bay and Fantasy World. Tariance fighting this out with Many Men. They race to the shadows of the post of the Melrose. Heads up, heads down.
I wasn't sure, to be honest, Lydia, and then they showed the freeze frame, and once I seen that, then I had a bit of confidence. In fairness to Andrew, he said this morning the horse is working very well, and he said that, you know, the last 6 or 8 weeks he'd really improved. He's been a late bloomer, but you know, he's definitely getting there now, and you know, when these horses start taking off like this, you don't know where they'll stop, so it was good to see.
They're off. The inaugural running as a Group 1 for the Sky Bet City of York, bustled up from the stalls, Never So Brave, the blue and yellow, just to try and get a position behind the habitual pace setter Quinault, green cap, who leads them through the first furlong. Audience in the red, white and blue is tracking the pace. Kirat white face down at the rail. Then exactly in a purple and white jacket, disputing fourth with Muranoa Charlie in the black and yellow. Rosalian from his wide draw, still wide on the crown of the bend. The yellow silks, upsized Never So Brave. Then Seagull's 11 in the blue and white stripes cutting the corner. Lake Forest in the royal blue with the star on the cap is further back, and the nose-banded Anaf at the tail. Through halfway in the Sky Bet City of York. Quinault still blazing along at 40, 41 miles an hour. Audience, who's crossed to the outside running rail, now drawing upside on the extreme left. Further back in third, Kirat, the pink cap, alongside Muranoa Charlie. Rosalian now second from the left is being asked for an effort, beginning to close. Never So Brave in the blue and yellow is coming with him. Quinault is still in front, heading towards the last furlong and a half. One from the right, Kirat. Here's Never So Brave. Rosalian exactly in the purple and white coming through. Anaf in the noseband trying to thread through. Heads everywhere inside the furlong. Never So Brave has struck the front. Rosalian is challenging. Here's Muranoa Charlie in the black and yellow with a late thrust. Never So Brave, all heart, wins the Sky Bet City of York. Tight for second between Muranoa Charlie, Lake Forest and Rosalian. Kirat right in behind them.
He's just taken it all in his stride, and I think, you know, big credit to Vidir, who looks after him and rides him, and also, you know, Jack, who rides him at home, because it's, you know, he's a little bit quirky, and to get him to come and win on a big day like this is just such a great result for the team.
They're off for the Sky Bet Ebor of 2025. Enemy in the blue and orange missed the break. Yashin with a yellow cap was also slow to stride. From wide draws, Mr. Percy in the double green, and French Master with the red cap are taking a while to track over and get a position as they move through the first furlong. Al Mosher is the first one to show up, the gold cap, to Queenstown in the dark blue, and then ascending in a striped jacket. Still in rear, French Master is very wide. Mr. Percy has crossed over to join the others. The free sweating One Smooth Operator is handy down at the running rail as they link up with the round course at the end of 2.5 furlongs. Queenstown, the dark blue, Majestic Warrior, striped cap goes prominent, ascending between them. Al Mosher drifting back into fourth just ahead of One Smooth Operator. Then the first of the grey, Shadow Dance. French Master now beginning to work over to join the leading line with the red cap. Fleetfoot in a white jacket is just in behind him, and French Master's come right across in front of the field as they go through the first half mile. So French Master and Rab Havlin striding on by a couple lengths to Queenstown, Majestic Warrior. Then ascending Al Mosher the rail to Fleetfoot. Hip Hop de Loire in the blue and yellow. Ethical Diamond wide, One Smooth Operator right down at the fence, followed by Enemy, then Kerhava. Roaring Legend is tracking another grey, Shadow Dance in midfield. Siege of Troy in a claret jacket is also in mid-division. Then Mr. Percy in the double green to Kerhava, the yellow sleeves. Yashin in a pink sleeve jacket is down at the running rail, just in advance of one for the gutter, and Stress Free in the light blue. London City subsequent, and Charles are towards the rear of the field as French Master brings them back towards the halfway point and beyond in the Sky Bet Ebor. French Master into the turn to Queenstown on the inner of Majestic Warrior. Then ascending, Almosha the rail. Fleetfoot out wide to Hip Hop de Loire. Slipstreamed in turn by Ethical Diamond. One smooth operator, the stripe cap up the running rail. Then Siege of Troy to Enemy. Real Dream in the black and yellow ahead of the grey Shadow Dance. Further back to Yashin and Roaring Legend to Cahava and Mr. Percy and one for the Gutter and Stress Free. Then London City subsequent, and Charlotte in the red and green is the last in line for home as French Master brings them inside the last half mile. They begin to cluster on his tail, however. Majestic Warrior under the fence, ascending has got to the rail. Fleetfoot hard up against the rail. Ethical Diamond, Pink Cap looking for a way through. On the right, the grey Shadow Dance. Enemy in the blue and orange is coming through. Almosha, the gold cap, is boxing on. Cahava has switched to the centre. Inside the last quarter mile, Shadow Dance pokes his grey nose in front. Under the rail, ascending. Majestic Warrior, Queenstown, the dark blue. Ethical Diamond burrowing through under the fence under Will Buick in the white and pink, and it's Ethical Diamond who struck the front inside the furlong, pursued by ascending Queenstown, running on late, Stress Free, but it's Ethical Diamond, Buick, the diamond in the Ebor pack. Ethical Diamond beats ascending Queenstown, Stress Free, Hip Hop de Loire, Real Dream, Cahava and Majestic Warrior.
I could see him moving well, and I thought you know, just before the gap opened up from before William sent him through, I thought, ooh, are we in trouble here? But anyone watching on with binoculars or on a TV, they could see that he was fine. He was going very well. And William said to me after the race that it was just copybook. He said he popped out, settled, he was always in the right position, just wanting to go forward enough without being, without being too keen, which has been his problem before. And when he just said go, he said that was it. He said unless something came out of the clouds, he was going to win.
They're off. The Sky Bet Constantine Handicap. Chief Mankato missed the break. Nimitz on the left, jumped away to the right. Hampered Milford completely random, and Zaya in the process. Already through the first furlong. We Never Stop in the blue headgear, showing bright early speed with Super Scion in the maroon and pink. They're in the left-hand cluster. So too in the left-hand cluster under the row, White Cat, Run Boy Run, and then Northern Ticker and Zaya and Nimitz in a white jacket to the grey, completely random. Tropical Storm, Twilight Calls, Grey Cap is further back with a nose-banded Strike Red, and Milford is last of the left-hand group as they now begin to converge towards halfway. Dark 30, purple and white prominent with Jordan Electrics on the right, followed by Pocklington, Comanche Falls, the red headgear, then St Lawrence and Badgery. Two Tribes with a black cap bustled along behind Jubilee Walk. Chief Pancarter on the extreme right making ground. Nimitz has been eased off and is being pulled up. They're heading down towards the last furlong. Jordan Electrics, Dark 30 the purple and white. Here's Northern Ticker in the noseband under the rail. Oh, Comanche Falls flying home. Pocklington yellow cap threading through, and here's Two Tribes with a black cap joining in. There are heads everywhere once again. Northern Ticker, Pocklington, Comanche Falls, Two Tribes, Perm anyone from Fore. Jordan Electrics right in behind them. They're all yours, Judge.
He's a lovely horse. He's probably not quite there yet. He's still a big raw type and big babyish still. He's not had many races. I think the more racing he gets, the better. That's what Michael says beforehand. He needs racing. I think he's found it hard to get him out this season because of the weather. He thinks he'd be better with a more just on the ground. So I'd say softer the ground, the better for him. Got away with it today. It's lovely conditions, and they're getting a toe in a bit, so it was fine.
They're off. Breaking out over 5 furlongs. Our Cody on the right and Dickensian, the yellow and black spots just half jinked coming out of the stalls. He's just missing the break slightly, most notably Dickensian, who's just about last through the first furlong. Among those to show good speed, Zelena on the left with the red cap. Revival Power upsides. They're going hard here, 43 miles an hour down towards halfway. Being chased by Silent Applause, blue with the white cap, and then Kinalagi in the red and blue. Military Code in the all blue is further back to Our Cody, and the grey grey Rydell Frosty, and then Dickensian on the right, Yellow Jacket making headway. Inside the 2, Revival Power, Zelena, Kinalagi under the rail, Military Code, the all blue coming through with stablemate Silent Applause, Dickensian, Yellow Jacket trying to get on terms, Revival Power inside the furlong in front, Military Code coming up sides, they come together, Buick and Military Code, Revival Power battling back, another very tight one between the two.
Dave said when he really went for her, she quickened up, but she said she's still very green, and he said it's better just letting her roll rather than trying to hold it, you know, troll her back, you know.
They're off. The Steve Birch Sky Bet sponsored finale handicap on the Knavesmire, and Tony Montana Violet Jacket slowest to get away. Sabuska from stall 1, White Cap also in rear with Dark Moon Rising and Mahaba Gayath in the blue and white, as Dayan Manutin, the hooped cap of yellow and maroon, works across into a prominent early position with Thunder Wonder, the red and purple on the sleeves down at the running rail. Greek Order in the green and white is also handy, and Ryan Moore has got West Ridge prominent, Yellow Jacket, tracked through by Zane Blue in the blue and orange, and then Per Contra, the purple and orange on the sleeves, alongside the nose-banded Rono. Classic Encounter, William Buick, black and red back in midfield, upsides Erzincan, then back to Castle Stewart and the grey Sea Galazzo, followed by Sabuska and Mahaba Gayath, and Tony Montana last but one, and Dark Moon Rising is at the back of the field as they leave the back straight and head towards halfway. Dayan Manutin giving a lead to Greek Order, the white and green. Then Thunder Wonder up the rail. Westridge in a Yellow Jacket, shadowed by Zane Blue. Rono cutting the corner to Per Contra. Erzincan in the maroon alongside Classic Encounter, and Castle Stewart wide of that pair. Then the grey Sea Galazzo to Mahaba Gayath, Sabuska, Tony Montana, and Dark Moon Rising last into the straight as they head for the final half mile in the Sky Bet Steve Birch finale. Dayan Manutin leading the field. Greek Order crossing towards the near side with Per Contra, Zane Blue and Westridge. Rono in a noseband down the centre making headway. Thunder Wonder is being ridden along. Mahaba Gayath, blue and white. White Cap trying to improve from the rear. Erzincan is ridden. Classic Encounter, Black Jacket making headway. Per Contra though up ahead. Purple and orange on the sleeves. Moves up to Dayan Manutin. On down to the last furlong and a half. Westridge in a Yellow Jacket is giving chase, and then Zane Blue. Inside the furlong they come. Per Contra, Dayan Manutin, Westridge, Zane Blue, Mahaba Gayath, Erzincan and Tony Montana. Castle Stewart finishing off strongly. Very late. Another very close finish to the Steve Birch finale. Dayan Manutin just edges out Per Contra. Very close for third between Castle Stewart and Westridge.
He's very tenacious. No, he's one thing he is, he's game, and Stephen rides him out every day, and I don't know how he puts up with him. You know, he's a bit of a handful, and you can see him on the track. He's awkward. He just wants to get on with things, and yeah, that's just his way of doing things. But he's very tough in game, and that's what helps him.